I'm wearing my Doctor Who shirt, but I want to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I pretty much grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer because my mom liked it. Because, weirdly enough, she kind of surrounded my childhood with magical vampires and elves and stuff. I mean, yeah, I grew up on like Peter Pan and shit, but mainly Buffy. She liked a lot of that stuff. I mean, like, she owns a bunch of copies of Anne Rice, and I read Harry Potter a lot more than I was supposed to. Like, I was like listening to the tapes. My mom took me to every movie, even if it was a school day, because she loved it that much, and she wanted me to love it so much. I went, and my brother was like, I don't like Harry Potter. She looked at me, and she's like, I'll disown you. So I grew up watching a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I really like it, actually. I like the first few seasons mostly because of how it was a lot more. Every time there's a new adventure, they always fix it. They made it really, really nice. It was just a lot easier. I mean, they could have made it a lot worse when you think about it, so I sort of focused on the positives. I think, though, that they kind of started screwing it up when they got to Dawn. And not that I don't like Dawn. I really, really liked Dawn. And I liked how she did that Truth or Scare. That was fun. I used to watch it on the Discovery Channel all the time. I really liked that, though, even though the one about night visitors kind of gave me nightmares. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, but when they started getting more into that glory, ancient evil, Terra, I mean, I don't think it was bad. I just got a bit confused. And then Angel came, and now in the comic books, it's just Faith and Angel, which is a bit weird. But I really like with the Vampire Slayer. There's no part where it literally goes downhill for me. I mean, I'm sad it ended. I wish they still did new episodes of, like, Buffy as a mom or something. I would like that, something like that. And her having kids, and even though she's not the Slayer anymore, she still slays vampires, because now that she's got kids, she's very protective, and she doesn't want them all to, like, she does not want them to get, like, killed, because she knows what's out there. I think that'd be a cool idea. And I like them to being, like, Willowback and Xander, and that way they can tie up all loose ends. And I know the comics are still going on. It's, like, season 8 in the comics. And so I can go back to, I don't really know. I don't really read the comics, actually. I mean, I wish I did, but I mainly sort of stick towards Doctor Who comics, and I liked Archie. Although I don't get the parallel universe, but that's a different video for a different time. The only problem I really have between the comics and the show, and my general why I don't like the show as much as I would have, is that the comics sort of portray Buffy as a badass girl. And she is. She most definitely is. Sarah did an amazing job, and literally she did. But the fact is, it sort of made her more of a teenage girl than I would have liked. The general idea in the first Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie was by the ideaist was that they would make a girl, she'd be blonde, and they would, and you know how the blonde girl always gets killed off in the horror movies? Well, they were going to make this badass blonde girl who was going to slay monsters. And they did that. It was amazing. It was, like, really good. But the way they did that was sort of like, how can I say this? In a TV show, they sort of toned it down, and they made her a regular girl. They do it in a lot of shows. They do it in Hannah Montana. But in reality, if that happened to a real Hannah Montana, she'd have an ego the size of Texas. And I don't mean Texas now, I mean Texas in, you know, when it was still part of Mexico and big as fuck. So if you don't, unless my geography was wrong, it could be. It could be. Well, I think it was bigger. I don't know. But let's get back to this. Now, the thing was, they sort of made Buffy a bit more teenagey than I would have liked. Because she still fell for Angel, even though she knew she'd probably have to kill him because he was a vampire. All that. I mean, if I was a Slayer, I would not let that happen. I'd be like, you're a vampire. I'm gonna fucking turn you into dust. I would not. And she lets him live when he loses his soul. It's just so teen girl, I'm in love with him. And I mean, yeah, she was in love with him, alright. That's fine, but I just wish she would have been all, you're a vampire. No fucking way it's just gonna work out. I'm aware of that. and she just sort of makes it more teenage rebellion, and I do not mind. It's not that I don't like Angel. I just wish that she should have put more of a front up, I guess. And people were right to disapprove of them and of her and Angel. Sorry, because what the fuck? He's a vampire. You're a vampire slayer. How do you think that's gonna work exactly? But all of his ties to evil came in handy, so they got over it pretty quickly. Except for Xander, who kind of thought Buffy was like hotter than the two sons of Gallifrey. So keep on going on to that. They just sort of made Buffy a bit less of an enigma. Because, okay, Sherlock Holmes is an enigma. He is mysterious, he's hypersensitive, he is someone that you cannot utterly trace back. He's just so hypersensitive. When he goes through a plot and shows you what happens, you fucking listen. Because he's Sherlock Holmes. When the doctor goes back and saves the whole day, he's like, oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? 21 minutes. Come on, Pond. Oh, that. He's just so... The doctor, Sherlock Holmes, are just so enigmas, and they're just amazing. And I think Buffy, if they had wrote her a bit more Slayerage and less teenage girl, she could have been an enigma. Whatever. I liked Buffy. There's no one saying I did not like Buffy, because I did like Buffy. I did. I still do, actually. I still watch it sometimes on Netflix. But I just think it could have been better. But a lot of things could have been better. So, what do you think? Do you like the new Buffy? Do you like Buffy? Was there a point in the series when you just stopped watching because you couldn't take it anymore? Let me know.